course, it is not obvious. And I think what we're seeing, though, with regards to Right to Dream's impact on the San Diego Academy, it's kind of been able to offer a bit of a grassroots footballing education, a unique environment that is not just going to be developing promising soccer players, but specifically student athletes, players who are going to be focusing on their development and becoming a better player, but also preparing them for college, preparing them for professional careers, forcing them to be a positive influencer in their communities. So specifically, what they're doing is offering a fully funded scholarship-based program for student athletes from 11 to 18, and they're focused not just on developing their skills as players, but also putting them through a very rigorous academic environment and trying to make not just great students, but great people, great characters. So I think it's clear to me they've been able to invest in a lot of high quality staff, high quality coaches who are going to be able to implement the methodologies that have been consistent throughout Right to Dream's world renowned youth development system. And of course, I think we have discussed a little bit about this, but one thing that makes San Diego very specific as this MLS club is concerned is that the Mansours were contacted by a Native American tribe, the Siquoans, to get basically a financial partner to branch into MLS, and so actually we are seeing the academy being played in the Siquan tribal land with a really good state-of-the-art sports performance facility. So if you expose these players to a very high demanding, high intensity style, I think we're going to see that trust being rewarded. I think you're going to see players who are going to put in a lot more effort and who are going to stay on the road.
As a little benefit with regarding the place of the training camp or the training ground, the closeness to Mexico, meaning they can also get the Mexican players a little bit earlier. So that's a little bonus for them.
I also think that from Ghana, what we're made to believe is that usually a right to dream you join from maybe like 8, 9, 10, 11 years, and up until when you're about 16, 17, 18. And what they say is that in these years, they're able to determine the ones who are maybe really good enough to play football. And usually they go through to Europe, to maybe the likes of Notre Dame, to continue with their development. But they can also tell those who are maybe not as good, but because their model involves education, they're able to tell that maybe these guys won't cut it in Europe at this stage. And so they would rather continue their education in the US, in a league that maybe the levels are a bit more low. And who knows, they could go in there and perhaps do college football, could be drafted later if the education, maybe they decide to stop and all of that. But there have been examples of players who go there, stop playing, just focus basically on education. Some enter medicine, some enter engineering. And there's also been some success stories like Francis Eto'o. There's Usaini Buda, who now plays with the Burkina Faso national team. And then I think recently there's Minidua, who plays at San Diego as well. Good prospect. And I think basically that's what has been seen as now, that if you're going to the US, it's more of education. And maybe you could also play football on the side if the MLS becomes a viable option.